Airbnb, it's house B&B, you know?
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, that's the same here. I mean, been busy doing stuff around the house and all that. I mean, it's just, but the news never stops, as you guys know, and it hasn't stopped. And actually, unfortunately, it isn't even that, we don't have much good news, but this news is something that I know was really interest of you guys. The Airbnb planning board. I know the mayor. You know more about this, Chris. Go ahead. You introduced this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, many of you know that me and my wife are involved in Airbnbs here within the city. And it basically went from a temporary moratorium on the expansion of Airbnbs. That's where it originally started. That was it a 60-day, babe, or 90-day? That original.
I think it was originally 90 days.
90 days. So they basically wanted to shut down the opening of more Airbnbs. And now the mayor actually has come out with his own proposal. So let me have Paula let you know about that as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, specifically, the proposal would limit short-term tourist rentals to a specific downtown area. It would require all owners to join Airbnb and to pay taxes. And also, it makes owners legally responsible for the actions of their guests. So, also, it would require a bed tax to be paid, which would be a good thing for the city. We agree, correct?
Oh, yeah, especially with tourism. From what I've read from our news outlets, tourism this year is down about 75%.
Right.
So certainly any influx of tax money to the city would be a positive. Now, the problem is there's a lot of people that have invested in Niagara Falls with Airbnbs, and they are not located in a specific area. So a lot of people that have invested their money, they're already paying taxes on their property, but yet this new proposal wants them to pay a fee, which was there's a two-structure fee.
Well, let me ask you guys something real quick, though, just for some of us that aren't involved in Airbnb at all. And this I just found out today looking it up. Airbnb is kind of like, would you consider, it's almost like Grubhub or something. Isn't that kind of like the place where you go to pay?
Yes, it's just a platform.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I would pay there and all taxes and everything would be taken out of by them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They don't currently collect a bed tax per se, but they have a surcharge, and so Airbnb is just a platform for any homeowner to advertise their house if they'd like to, possibly rent it out as a short-term rental.
And now the mayor wants, if his proposal goes through, everyone has to be on Airbnb, no matter, because there's people that aren't now, right?
Right.
In the city, yeah.
That's another thing that limits everyone. We personally use Airbnb. We host on Airbnb, but that not everybody uses Airbnb. So that kind of is also makes local Airbnb owners, or if you want to say local short-term rental owners, very upset because they shouldn't have to be forced just to use Airbnb. Although I love Airbnb, there's other outlets that they could advertise.
Right.
And they feel that because they are already paying property taxes on their home, first, the mayor would require that they do join Airbnb, as well as pay those annual fees to be part of Airbnb. Mm-hmm. And basically, we're not, as you said to me earlier, we're not providing a service, so to speak, for them. So they feel like they're going to tax us or Airbnb as a service, but explain how you said that earlier.
Yeah, someone online, actually, someone who owns an Airbnb made a good point. The bed tax, it almost puts an extra tax on the tourists that are coming. When they come to an Airbnb, they pay a cleaning fee. All we're providing basically is a clean house for them to stay. Right. So the bed tax in itself is a little questionable. However, I don't think it's an awful thing. I definitely think it would help the city of Niagara Falls if it went to Niagara Falls. It actually,
well, it does. Yeah, it doesn't.
And we've talked about
first,
just like the state park fees don't stick around.
Well, they raised it, right? It was 5%. They raised it to 6%, and that one extra percent went to the trolley that goes down. The trolley, and then there's 5% that goes to the county. The county gets an awful lot.
It's crazy.
And then it's split up amongst Lockport, everybody. So that's why I had always thought, I didn't understand why, if you look around or just do a Google search, bed tax or tourist tax in different cities are, New York City's is like 15. percent, I believe. And I'm sure theirs isn't going. I would love to see.
Yeah, so
where theirs going.
imagine the loss of the tourist tax dollars along with the loss in population. Obviously, manufacturing jobs are not around
Right.
like they used to be. So, yeah, definitely, things to consider for Airbnbs. They're very positive, we feel, for our city. They do spend time in the city visiting local attractions, and we're on the front line, so we want to explain to them where's a good place to eat, where's a local attraction, where's somewhere they can go and
Right.
feel safe, things like that. And if we could only get these tourists, even now it's more important to get the tourists to stay one more day.
I always say that.
Yeah.
And the amount of millions of dollars that would generate, they need attractions, they need things to do, and we've talked about this where the city needs to step it up as far as what is here for
Oh,
the
absolutely.
tourists besides the water. And,
Yep.
and Paula brings up a great point too. There's 140 acres of undeveloped land in downtown Niagara Falls, the prime tourist area. I think you got an idea for that.
Well, I'm not sure of all the details, but Niagara Falls Redevelopment owns all of
Right.
that vacant, boarded up homes. What are they doing with it?
Right.
And if the city is going to pass this proposal where there's only going to be a certain guideline to where we can have our Airbnbs, they should get those properties back from Niagara Falls Redevelopment because they're not developing them, and sell them to investors or local people that want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I would much rather see Airbnbs than vacant houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to make a
Absolutely.
district, that would, of all places you could have people, maybe not limit it to that, but maybe that's the main area downtown
Yeah.
by the casino. They're supposed to build a gas station and some other housing where Nabisco used to be, I
Right.
believe.
Yeah.
That's in the process. So
And in this proposal for the ordinance of where they want everyone to stay, they cite that they want the safety of the guests. The safety of the
Right.
guests, the closer you get to the falls, the worse it gets.
Right.
Sorry, it's the truth. We have Airbnbs from 8th Street all the way up past Hyde Park. Trust me. We have them in, not so desirable neighborhoods, but that doesn't matter. That our neighbors are great and the house is
Right.
wonderful. But
and it's back on the tax roll because the investor's
Exactly.
paying taxes on that once derelict property.
Right.
So,
Well, I got a couple more questions, but I just want to remind
Sure.
everyone, 716-804-1229 is the number to call in to talk. Anything you want, really. We are talking Airbnb right now, but you know what? Anything you want to talk about, of course, it's free to you. It's the First Amendment here.
yeah,
Free speech.
absolutely. And at the same time, thank you again for all the people tuning in on social media.
Right.
We have Peter again on there. Thank you, Peter, for behind the scenes and right here live. We also have Tracy Passler on. How do you control the people? Own your own government. Can't go it. And
they can't do it.
can't do it. Yep.
Yeah, no, they can't.
No.
Right. I mean, well, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. I might have
Yep.
cut
And
you off,
then
but-
Dominique, that's a relative of yours, correct?
Right. It's my daughter. Yeah.
That's your daughter. Wonderful.
She
Thanks
likes
for.
your new hat.
Yeah, even though we can. What happened last night? Did they play?
Oh, yeah, the Leafs won.
Leafs
4-2.
won. Okay, great.
Preseason game, kind of, but.
So, okay, yeah. Thank you again for tuning in social media and again.
Tracy Passler,
Yeah.
isn't that monopolizing Airbnb though? Yes, our platform
babe.
is Airbnb, but absolutely there's Home Away from Home, there's VRBO, there's many short-term rental platforms that shouldn't just be, it's almost like, are they giving them a kickback to the city? Why do you got to be just Airbnb?
Exactly.
Right.
As
Well-
long as they're registered and they're inspected, and all of
Yes.
our properties are inspected
Yes.
and registered by the city,
Yep.
if there is any complaints, residents are able to contact the city directly and
Right.
file a formal complaint. And there's a process for that. So regulation is good, and any fees that maybe the city could collect for that, okay, fine. But it
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's
be
understandable.
mandated what platform. Absolutely.
They definitely need to be regulated because there's a lot of people that just open up homes that shouldn't be
Right.
rented out. So I agree with the regulations. Of course, Chris and I manage together 20 properties
20,
actually
yep.
in Niagara Falls,
Wow.
and a few in Lockport and one in Tonawanda. So we've dealt with, this is our third season. We've had probably through our properties at least 50,000 people.
Oh,
Seriously.
wow.
Seriously.
I never
all of them
really thought,
combined,
but
all of
yeah.
them combined.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
especially during the busy seasons,
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
and second season, we're so busy, and now COVID. And quickly on that, we have a high standard of cleanliness. We clean these places like we were going to stay in them
Absolutely.
ourselves.
Absolutely.
Some people, I say, well, make it as clean as if you were going to sell the property. But, we have standards too, and Airbnb is very strict on their, they have new guidelines actually. I was reading last night, they have actually created a COVID-19 handbook. So along
Yeah.
with regulation, you will get that as well. So cleanliness is another reason why you want these regulated.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you want to be able, enforcement is another point that was brought up in with the mayor. You want to be able to enforce, what's going on at these properties, and you have to have a way for.
I agree with that, but I don't think that the homeowner should be held responsible if you have a guest that's acting like an idiot. Because that's like a restaurant.
Right.
If someone's acting out of control, you're going to hold the restaurant accountable? That's not right.
That's exactly.
I can't control my guests.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask. I was just going to ask that. How could you hold the owner legally responsible
I
for the
think that's
conduct?
ridiculous.
What does that
Yeah.
mean? So
That's ridiculous.
If they go out and they're,
Here's a good
What could
example.
they-
A lot of people
yeah.
have parties.
Yes.
We have a strict no party resident, or
Right.
no strict. Say it. Strict
We
policy.
have strict no
Right.
party rule. However, and you know who you are, you locals, we do have people that book our places and throw parties.
She tells
Right.
it like it is,
No,
right?
I know, and you know what? It really pisses me off because Chris and I put our heart and soul into these properties. We love these homes. We want to open our homes to guests that want to enjoy the best parts of Niagara Falls. And when we've got people doing that, I do understand why neighbors can get upset if you're having people
Right.
throwing parties all the time.
But to hold
It's
the land,
ridiculous.
the property owner or the Airbnb responsible. I mean, they
No.
turn their music up to number 10 at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm
Chris
in
and
bed. I
I
got nothing to do
literally-
with that.
Yeah.
We have driven out at 1 in the morning, casing all of our properties because we can tell almost when someone's going to have a party. You can kind of tell by the booking,
Right.
and we have stopped many.
Yep.
Yep. Or before we give
yeah.
them a riot act, don't even try
Well,
it.
because it's funny, because if they're going to, I don't know, they're trying to treat it like a hotel in a way, but a hotel or a motel, they're not responsible.
No.
For anything
No.
if those people, I don't even know what they mean by that, because if they break up the house, then obviously the owner.
They get
Is
charged through Airbnb.
Right.
We have their credit card. Sure.
But if they go outside and urinate in the neighbor's yard, what are we going to do to the owner? I don't know what you
Yeah.
can do. What if they go and steal? I don't understand.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
And those instances are such an exception and
Yes.
not the norm.
Yes.
It does happen, and unfortunately, not everyone has class.
Right. Well,
But it does happen, and we try to get to know our neighbors of our properties and give them our numbers and have them make us aware of any situations, of course. But
well, now, like the limiting of the location. Here's what I'm thinking, but I don't know much about this stuff. But I was thinking that limiting it is kind of a bad. I don't like it. I was thinking, let them go to LaSalle. What if
Of
they went out to
course.
LaSalle? What
Actually,
if, or
yeah,
DeVoe?
of
she-
course, why would
wow,
you?
wait.
Or
Yeah.
DeVoe. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
seemed to be-
that's crazy.
And I would figure that would
Yeah.
help. I know they're all going to go to the water, but I would want to keep them out of the state park and in our, I don't know, like at restaurants and stuff around here.
They're all going to go to
locally.
it anywhere. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they're staying on 2nd Street
Yeah, they're
or
going.
they're staying in
Yeah.
LaSalle. They come here for the water. They come here for the falls. So
You
you're
gotta
going to
keep-
check it all out.
Yeah,
And
you
you're
got-
spreading the business around the city, like you said. Wouldn't you want to have a guest stay in a very attractive, well lit, where the
Yes.
yards are landscaped and manicured, and you don't have to worry so much about everything?
Right.
It would only help bring positive light to our city, and any positive light we can get for our city and our state at this time. The county, Niagara County. Go to other counties. Go to Buffalo, obviously Erie County. Go to Lewiston, and
Right.
we're always supporting local businesses. And before
we
you have a
always-
few, by the way, before you go into your topics, John, we just wanted to send a little shout out to a local business.
Two things I wanted to say. We
Sure.
always promote local businesses to all of our guests. When they say, where can we go? I'm always referring them to local businesses. They spend their money here. But speaking of a local business, Michaela's Sweet Treats, she's on Facebook, Michaela's Sweet Treats. Again, her phone number is 609-7918. She made these most amazing s'more cookies,
Right.
and I'm telling you, they're s'moregasmic. So you guys gotta check her out. Our neighbor got us hooked on them.
We're all
and
jacked up on sugar
couldn't
here at
stop thinking
Yawawa
about
Media
'em.
tonight.
Trust me, We like our sweets.
Okay.
So yes, Michaela's Sweet Treats. Check her out. She's right on Woodlawn Avenue, right in Niagara Falls.
Oh,
Awesome
yeah,
job.
Woodlawn Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, down there.
She only paid us $5,000 to do that for her.
Yep.
5,000.
No.
So
I would pay her $5,000 for those. cups.
Before
Ooh.
before we leave the Airbnb topic, there was one thing. I think it was Wednesday when our show was going on. I think there was a Niagara County Planning Board meeting. And
Yes.
they voted, and I'm assuming no to these requirements, 5-2.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I guess there's going to be now another. It's going to be a public
Yeah, they're proposing a public forum
okay, good.
eventually. Yeah.
eventually. But I guess I was unable to make it to the meeting. A good friend of ours, our maintenance, who takes care of all of our properties, was able to go, and he said there was way more opposition against the ordinance than for.
Right.
So you're always going to have people in Niagara Falls or anywhere. Chris and I call them cave people. They're people, they're citizens
yeah.
against virtually everything. And you're going to have cave people no matter where you go. So
Yeah.
there's always cave people against something, and they just need to buy themselves a puzzle and
Right.
keep themselves occupied.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, sit down
Yeah.
in the time for you to sit down in the
Yeah.
little big chair.
Sit down and take a time out, right? But
716-804-1229 is the number here at beautiful Uwawa Studios. Soon we're going to have, maybe next week. Soon, though, we're going to get Peter Green. And he's going to be on with us so we can talk
Oh.
about everything that this studio can do.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
it is
that's a great
amazing what we
idea.
can do here. People got to know
Yeah.
what can happen. And the amount of views we get and all these shows get is so much bigger than the listening then who hears it's not WJJL anymore. Or
WNAC. There you go.
No, I think it's WBER,
Oh.
and then there's WLVL. But I'm just saying, we're getting more. And I know, because I was on WJJL, and no one heard me.
Yeah,
So
we
it didn't
definitely
matter.
need to get Peter on, and
Yeah, well,
they
the-
make us feel, honestly, and Ohio Barb and your wife.
Peter's awesome,
And we're just
and he
getting
knows
this.
everything about Niagara County.
Yeah,
He does.
we're
Yeah,
just
so he'll be
building
on.
a great team here, and we are very welcomed when we come here, and as well as any guest, if you want to come and check out the studio, make arrangements through Peter to maybe you got a project coming up, you will be treated. Hospitality is number one, so don't forget to call in. And Kevin Hutchison, Nabisco is a landmark. I don't know how that played into the development that's going on over there, but from what I read, they are going forward with it's like a gas station. There's like three different things: housing, right? Some type of housing,
Yep.
and maybe a restaurant or
Oh, wow.
something.
Some type of business.
Something's supposed to go there, so we'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting when they take it down, because I wonder,
Sad.
asbestos and stuff. It's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? It's going to
Sure.
be
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah.
you could keep it, but I don't know. It's been so long since that's been shut down. I can't even remember. Had to be the 90s, maybe.
I would say
late 90s?
early, late
maybe?
80s or early
Yeah,
90s, I would think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. Well, you know what, guys? I got to ask you both. I know, Chris, you're a peacekeeper.
Yes, sir. As well
Paula,
as
are you
am I.
too? All right,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
This is good then. This is going to be good. What I was seeing, I don't know if you guys found this out or if you saw it. I mean, there is been a reaction to the protests here in Niagara Falls. There was a reaction to. We had two of them, and they went peacefully. They went really, really peaceful. But there's been a reaction. Now the governor has made it to where every city, I don't know if town, everybody that gets any kind of state aid has to have some sort of plan going forward about, well, they call it here social justice. So this is the Social Justice Commission. Now, what I know of it, I'm not real happy about. So I made up my own, and I was thinking maybe we could figure out together maybe some names of people, because I know you guys are peacekeepers, so you're going to know some people that maybe we can get some help with. But I'm going to tell you first, there's 5 categories.
Okay.
The first one is law enforcement. The second one is healthcare. The third one is education. Fourth one is housing. The fifth one is a weird one, employment. That one I'm kind of stuck. I find weird, but okay. So let's go to law enforcement. All right. Now listen to who's on the law enforcement panel.
And this
For
was
this.
just established after the unfortunate incident with Mr. Floyd. Is that correct?
Right, and the governor forced this.
And
I'm
they-
not saying that they weren't going to do it here on their own, but the governor forced the the issue for everyone to do something like
Do
this.
something or face he was going to withhold
Money.
funds, some type of money, right?
There was a threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the law enforcement one part of this, I don't know, man. It's first is there's two people on it. First is the city administrator. You know, I got to tell you, that's useless. I don't know why he would be on there at all. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what social injustice he would have ever faced, considering he doesn't live in the city and he's been able to still be city administrator. So, I mean, he's the opposite of social injustice because he's been able to, you know, so justice has been served for him, I guess.
Yeah, well, I automatically should not be on the board. He's not even a resident. That should automatically be a disqualifier.
I'm going to, I got a non-resident on my list. Although these aren't paid, by the way. These aren't paid
That's
positions.
volunteer, yeah.
Or they are appointed, but no pay.
Okay.
The next guy, the only reason I have a problem with this is it's not the citizens. It's not really the people. It's Reverend Craig Pridgeon, president of Ministry Council, okay? Now, when we go down this list, you're going to notice one thing. Everyone's a president or a CEO of something. So now, here's law enforcement, okay? I want to take those two guys off. Let's find other people. Why couldn't we find a policeman? Either an active one or one that might be retired. You know, someone to represent the police. Then, now we need someone to represent the citizens. What do you think?
A citizen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who could you think of, though? I mean, think of somebody. I was thinking.
Dante Miles.
Right.
Ezra?
Ezra Scott Jr.
Now, Dante is on this list, by the way. They did throw him into housing, but he's not like one of the major CEOs or anything. He's just in there. Or no, I'm sorry. I think he's on healthcare. He's in the healthcare list, but he's not on the. You know, he's not part of the
official
of the power.
commission right now. Yeah.
Right. So we got that. We got those two guys that I think is going to be a waste of time. So now let's go to healthcare. Healthcare. Here's the two people. Dr. Lavan Ansari, CEO of Community Health Center. Then, and by the way, the names of these people are irrelevant. I should just give the titles. Joseph Ruffalo, CEO of Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center. Guys, for me, I just don't understand why would you, what are they going to do? What do they know about social injustice?
My question too is, these are very probably busy people. Where are they going to find the time to volunteer to be on this board?
Right, well, I don't even care. But think about it. Why wouldn't you go to the community health center and find a doctor, a nurse practitioner, anything other than the CEO of the place?
You got the frontline worker, which should be on the board, but instead you got a CEO that doesn't matter to them.
Now,
they don't experience that every day.
Yeah, it doesn't have the, you know, and one thing with peacemakers is, you know, we are all have background checks done before we're able to join the peacemakers, and that's mainly for children's safety, because ultimately our goal of the peacemakers is the children in our future. We do a lot of other things within the community, but the children. So, you know, having, you know, gone through a background, and sometimes people that have a past and not necessarily something that had to do with children or any type of sexual abuse, that actually allows that peacemaker to be able to be more authentic and to be able to connect with the community. And that's why they trust us. That's why they look for the yellow shirts, because we're there to bring peace. We're there to diffuse a situation.
Right.
So the fact that you have people that may have been an ex-gang member or may have had a situation in their past, that actually we want people like that in peacemakers. And we do encourage anyone from all walks of life to come and see what we're about.
Well, now...
So what you're saying, though, is basically, at least everyone that's involved with peacemakers, they have something to contribute, where these CEOs and whatnot that have no idea what day-to-day life is really like.
The struggle.
What are they going to contribute exactly?
Yeah, and this is talking, as John said, this is mainly race relationships, and these people, it didn't affect them.
Well, some of them, I mean, I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know their ethnicity or nothing.
Sure.
Here. My problem is, the people, and we'll get in. I got one more too for healthcare that I had an idea, but all the people that were marching they're definitely not represented in this at all. I remember, you guys, were you guys there? Did you go? Any of you? Did you go to any of those marches?
Yes.
Yep.
Did you? Okay, because I wasn't there. I watched them on YouTube. I was not there.
2.5 miles from Hyde Park to the police station.
And-
But what a great ending. We are nationally recognized, Niagara Falls, for very positive
Being so peaceful,
protest
yeah.
and peaceful.
Right. Yeah. No. So, what I'm saying is, I watched a lot of people. There was people that were crying. There was people that were very upset. They're definitely not not even close being represented in this group. So then I was thinking, what does a great service, and this would be good for healthcare because it does all kinds of women issues, is the YWCA. They're really, really good. And you could get a therapist or anything from the YWCA, and they would be great to be on the healthcare, commission or whatever you want to call it, to help. You got to have people that know something. You guys know something. They're not going to be there. Oh, here, let's go to education. Education is Father James Mahar he's the president of Niagara University.
Okay, I actually got a person I would recommend for that.
For education especially.
Yes, Gloria Dolson.
Nice.
She's very active in the community forever.
Yep.
I can't even begin to tell you, but she is a wonderful woman who cares desperately about her city and about her culture and the future of the youth in the area, especially African Americans. She's been fighting for them. She started fighting with her mother, and she's also very involved. They have LaSalle Educational Club, I believe it's called, and they've probably, I'm going to be off on the years, but for a number of years has done a scholarship, part of the LaSalle Educational Scholarship Fund. And just a wonderful person. She knows about the community. She knows about people that have struggled.
Yeah, she'd have great insight to offer.
Very
Absolutely.
great insight to offer.
Okay. So
And she's an educator herself as well.
Yes.
Right, so we got her. Okay. Now, the next one is someone I like and know, but I don't think should be on here. Superintendent of the Niagara Falls Schools, Mark Laurie. Don't think he should be here. But now, here's my suggestion, who I would like to be on this list. Sale Constantino, who was the ex-coach of Niagara Falls High School. He used to run the YMCA when it was still the Y.
Yes.
And all the kids love him. He's a teacher, and he's a communicator.
Well respected
And-
in the community.
Yeah, everyone loves him, and
Absolutely.
he knows the kids. He knows them, and I thought he would be perfect. I thought maybe any teacher of any, like, how about a teacher from K through 8? Someone in there, maybe from any school. It doesn't matter which one of our public schools, but instead you're getting this, and I don't know how anyone looks at this and thinks that it's going to do anything. I can't imagine. I mean, do you guys see any hope?
I mean, I like your
Not with that
proposal.
list.
I mean, people that are in the community, that are in the neighborhoods, educators that deal with parents, they deal with the students directly, they deal with everyday issues that people are going through. Maybe they have two children that go to two different schools, and they have to deal with that, and they have to deal with childcare issues. And a lot of them, we know in Niagara Falls, are single family, single mother or single father units. So yeah, the front line where everything happens is where we need to go to
It's the only way
to go forward.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to deal with the reality of the situation, not some hypothetical. Somebody wants to come up with a plan and how we should do this.
Well, I got it. And now we're going to go to housing. Housing's an interesting one. This first one, once again, it's CEO, though. The CEO of Community Missions. Maybe, I don't know.
Might not be that bad.
Yeah, and then the next one is Executive Director of the Niagara Falls Housing Authority, and I say
no.
No to that.
No.
I got someone who I think I'd have to go to get him, though. He's not a resident here, but he'll be good. And that was the guy he was on the show last week, Wade Van Valkenburg.
Wade, what a great guy.
He was homeless. He was all that.
He can relate.
And he worked. He's working with Lockport. Well, he's not working. He is Lockport Cares, and he's doing all that stuff with the homeless people in Lockport. And I think he would be perfect.
And he's very successful. He created a software company, right? And
sold it. Yeah.
And he has the time, even better, because he's retired at like 35.
And he would do it.
He'll do it.
And he would do it just to help people. And I don't know I mean, her name is Robin Kruger, the CEO of Community Missions. That might be good. That might be a good one. I think we'd keep her. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because she's probably had, I can't imagine she just shows up as CEO of Community Missions. Like, I imagine she must have been there.
Probably earned her way up the ranks.
Oh, yeah.
Probably has
Oh,
quite
yeah.
a bit to offer.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Now, the next one, guys, I don't know what to say about. I almost think it's useless, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys can tell me. Employment. I don't know. It's president of the Niagara Organizing for Hope is one of the people. Bishop Jesse Scott. The next one is, got a real long title, faculty director of Niagara University Center for Equality and Mission, Dr. Rolanda Ward. I mean, I don't know. That was a tough one. Like, I was wondering employment, you know?
You know, the thing is, it does seem like they've picked from definitely a different variety of people within the community, which could help because you're going to get a different perspective, but they're all CEOs. I mean, like Tracy says, you know, they should have real people on here. Why and when did it happen? We didn't have a say. This board was just created to help the people, but it wasn't created by the people.
You know,
Right.
they're afraid of the people. There's no question. People in City Hall are afraid of the people. Most elected are. I mean, they are afraid. They want to make sure that you're asleep.
Yes,
You know, and if you're
confuse
asleep,
us.
you know, so that way anything goes. So, you know, I don't even know if anyone even knows this exists, other than a couple of us. I bet you they don't.
No.
I'm going to be willing to bet.
And who created the board? Was there one person that
yeah, the mayor.
The mayor created, okay, so he picked all the people on it.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave this out there, and I'm not going to go any further, but I think some people will know what I mean. Having this mayor do a social justice commission, it's kind of like, do you remember Don King?
Yes.
You remember the promoter, Don King?
Oh, yeah.
It would be like getting, and he stole a lot of money. It'd be
Yeah.
like getting Don King to take care of your retirement. I mean, you just
It's a
wouldn't.
waste of time.
You wouldn't do it. But okay, whatever. Let me ask you guys something on a different note. I was thinking about this today, and you guys might, I know you'll have something to say about this. Why do we continue to be with people that hurt us? And I'm talking about this in elected officials. Why do we continue to be with them that hurt us? Think about what goes on here. It's over and over and over and over. We see the same names, we elect the same names, and we get we get nothing.
It's blatant and obvious as it is.
Yeah. What do you think, Paula?
Well,
tell me what
it's
you guys
kind
think.
It's like the definition of insanity. Basically, voting the same people in over and over, expecting somehow
A different
things are
result.
going to change
Yeah.
or there's going to be different results.
Right.
It's kind of crazy, honestly.
I mean, we do it all the time, and we always have a chance.
We're gluttons.
There's always a chance for change, too. We get real close to that chance. Now, think about it. Mayor Deister was here for 3 terms, I think, maybe 4. I'm not positive. But it was long. It might have been 4. But
It was a long time.
He only loses because he decided not to run again. He won when there was no water in LaSalle that one year.
Oh, yes,
There
all
was
the
no-
winter problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
He
pipes
did the
were
whole
busting.
totes my goats thing.
Yeah, where's Totes?
He kept winning.
They laid off Totes my goats. They gave a public information officer position, and they raised the rates on the garbage can. So much for Totes.
Yeah, no, he's done. Well,
He looked like the devil, man. Look up a picture of
He
the
was
devil,
scary.
and you swear, it looks just like him.
Yeah, well,
Or did. I don't know. He was on
but
something.
you
happened.
had a chance, Niagara Falls, to make a change. When he left, there was a good chance to change something. Now, everyone, I don't know how you guys feel about Governor Cuomo, but everyone here doesn't like him for one reason or another. Generally, you know what I
I
mean?
like Cuomo. Sorry.
Do you like him? Okay.
I do. I don't agree with everything he does
Right.
and all of his policies, of course, and some of his beliefs,
Right.
but I do feel whatever people want to say, you know, I believe in everyone has the freedom to do what they want.
Right.
However, I feel like he's been the only person who's kind of stepped forward as a leader in some of this whole coronavirus thing. I
you know what?
understand the whole people are pissed off that businesses are shut down and everything else, but look around the country. Like, this is...
The country was watching Cuomo run things and go by the numbers and go
Yeah.
by the scientific data. And when people did science not be... When did science not become the go-to? Like,
Yeah.
we don't have anything
And
else to go by but science. That's what we that's what life is based off of.
No, here's what I'm thinking about him.
And I'm talking strictly COVID, basically, at this
yeah,
point.
Right.
I'm not an overly political person. I
Right.
just think how he handled I looked forward to his daily briefings, honestly, in the beginning. And I just feel as though he kind of had like a voice of reason, and people can fault him. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he was going on the data that our government was projecting as far as deaths. So people can fault him all they want about, oh, he didn't use all the COVID beds and everything, or at the that center and the
COVID, the
Javits Center.
Javits Center, and
bringing the ship. But
the Mercy
thank
or
God.
whichever,
How
yeah.
about saying, hey, New Yorkers, you did a good job.
Well,
you guys stopped the spread a little bit. Like, I just think that
Right.
I don't think people should be like scared and putting fear out there like we're all going to die, but I just think we need to take it a little more serious. That's all.
Well, my thing with him when it comes to COVID, the biggest thing was the nursing homes. That was I just wish sometimes they would just say, I made a mistake. I know 6,000 people died. I mean, here we have 98 deaths and 54 of them, I think, are in a nursing home. So there was a mistake made. Mm-hmm. But instead of saying I made a mistake, he ends up, him and his health officials had a thorough investigation into this mistake. And guess what happened? They uncovered that they didn't do anything wrong. So, I'm saying they're investigating themselves. I don't know how, I don't know. I don't know. But, let's get away from COVID with him.
Sure.
But most of us get mad with him because of what he's done with the state park.
I agree.
All the
I
money.
feel like we're like the redheaded stepchild, Niagara Falls. Serious.
Yeah. We generate quite a bit of millions of dollars.
We need to get more of that money in the city.
Yeah,
Yes.
we get nothing from there.
Yep.
We have our electric bills are high. The whole thing,
Yeah, we got all the water, but we pay the highest water bill in the nation and the highest taxes.
But here's where I was going with this. Now, the current mayor blames the White House. Now, I just heard this today. Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center is suspending community tests because of a lack of supplies for the coronavirus.
That's
awful.
crazy.
Now, the mayor blames the White House for a lack of leadership and a failure of something else. I don't know. The mayor claims we lack testing, called New York State's response to COVID-19 exemplary, and so now he's got to go to the governor. The governor is the guy the president's not going to give us anything like that. The governor's the guy.
Governor's got the purse.
I'm not sure if the governor I'm not sure what went on there because I tried to look it up, what the governor did with COVID testing, if he did send some to South or something like that when we were kind of doing.
I did hear he was opening up a clinic in Texas, and if he sent our supplies to Texas, that's baloney.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
I don't agree with everything Cuomo does, but I do think that...
You like the COVID response. Yeah.
Well, you need someone to lead,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here was where I was going with this. We had Deister for four terms or whatever it was, maybe 3. He was pro-Albany. He was a Cuomo guy. We have a chance to change, and we go with another Cuomo guy. So, and the mayor didn't hide it. He had pictures with him and Kathy Hochul. It wasn't like he's not hiding it. I'm not blaming him for hiding it. But we vote for another guy who will never, ever. You think he's going to say anything about the state park? No. Is he going to say anything? Maybe. What's going to happen with the casino money? All that stuff. So this is my point about why do we elect those that hurt us? And we just keep on. They elected another Cuomo guy. And everyone in this city, maybe they like the COVID response. Some people, that's probably split. But mostly they want him to leave. They want a new governor. They want something different.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So we just, what do you think? Why? Why would we just hurt her? Corruption's running wild. And if you put the names together, it doesn't take much. I think we've talked about this many times.
Oh, yeah. They're all, those feathers. Yeah, those feathers are flocking together, boy.
And you can connect them so easy here in Niagara County that it's not hard. And then you know which way to go. My biggest thing was I'll vote out all incumbents. I don't care who they are. I just continually vote them out until we find someone better, no matter what the party. But I just think they voted for it's another Deister, but he's kind of on steroids. This one is a little different than Deister. He's a little bit different. And I don't know.
Yeah, he's a little more quiet about what his intentions are, I think. I don't know that you know, like you said, in the peaceful protest, it was very easy for people to kneel down. But what have people done, especially the local government? What have they done to go out in the community to make a difference, to make real change?
Right.
Other than what they did for the photo ops, as we talked about. And when we have Wade back in, you know, again, let's keep talking about the Green Party, even if it's just a small segment.
Well,
we can talk about that because we need another option. You said that basically Dems and Republicans are the same. They're just tossing the football back and forth to one another, pointing fingers, blaming each other.
Right.
In the meantime, nothing gets done. It's status quo. It's the same old, same old. Same thing in Niagara County, Niagara Falls, Erie. You're electing the same people with a different name. The game stays the same. The names change. We want real change. We want accountability at City Hall. By the way, is there a tailgate party tonight at City Hall?
No, it was canceled due to inclement possible. We have thunderstorm warnings.
I see.
So we'll be back on September. Peter and the guys will be there.
All right.
Good.
Well, hopefully we can get some clips or something. It's not a doom from the council meeting tonight. Maybe something good happened there.
It was kind of a light agenda when I was looking at it. I didn't see anything that seemed that, that great. I mean, I think in September they're going to probably vote on this Airbnb.
Yeah.
I bet you that'll be big.
Yeah.
The beginning of probably the first Monday of September. I bet you they will, because I think they're off in August. Aren't they? No,
August,
it is August
recess, right?
saying?
Almost. 2 days till August.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be on
so
recess.
So they're off for August. Anything in Facebook that I haven't?
Facebook. Yep. Same donor, same outcome, time after time from Tracy. Tim Huther, follow the money, see who the beneficiaries are of the corruption. And let's see, Claire Denholm, he should have worried about tests. Where'd it go?
Instead of ventilators.
Right. And we're getting a lot of interaction there. We appreciate everybody.
All right. So
again, with their comments, questions, interaction.
We have a good story, though, and I thought it was good. You guys, we talked about it when we were in the elevator. I'm going to skip the Niagara Falls Water Board story for tonight because it's outrageous anyways. And that board, real quick, is like the murderer's row of patronage. It's the most unbelievable thing that it's unreal. I mean, it's just a list of patronage. It's these guys' names and these names have been, and women have just been around forever, and I don't even know. But you guys can look it up about the water board out there. I mean, I'm sure you already know. It was in the Gazette. Renee Kimball is claiming there was some racism and stuff. So I'm going to skip that one because I want to do something that might be good.
Yes, let's have fun.
A couple good things coming out of the White House. And President Trump today, and this actually affects, it's in Rochester. He made a deal, it sounds like. He agreed to make, with Kodak in Rochester, they've agreed to make ingredients for generic drugs. 90% of everything to make generic drugs is made outside of the United States. Kodak will hire 350 people. Kodak is receiving a $765 million loan, which means I hope that they'll pay it back. And the United States is trying to become pharmaceutical independent. Not bad, right? I mean, it's not all bad for the president. I think it's funny with the president. Matters like this are ones that you can almost. I think I was saying this to Wade and you last week. He's your best opportunity in pharmaceuticals, because when you go look at OpenSecrets.org, he doesn't have any pharmaceuticals owning them. So he doesn't have any donors that are pharmaceutical. The only donor he has there is a pharmaceutical thing, but it does it's energy drinks, because it's not they're not making prescriptions and stuff like that. So I thought that was a good story.
Yeah, most of the ingredients come from China, as he says, and Korea, I believe. So they want to get the ingredients from United States manufacturers. Of course, it'll create jobs. It'll create tax revenue. And what a combination. Kodak, Kodak Film was around, and, obviously they went under when everybody went digital. And so there was really no need for film anymore. So now they're back in the game. I would imagine that they're going to reuse the factory in Rochester.
Yeah, they are.
And so, I mean, what a great use of an old building,
and
too.
Reinvent themselves. Reinvent
themselves.
Great. You got to adjust your sails to which way the wind blows these days.
No, it was excellent. The president has his moments, I know.
I don't personally like Trump, and I am not I was brought up a Republican. My dad loved God, his family, and his country, and he served in the Navy, and he was a very proud American. However, so I was brought up Republican, but Trump is awful, in my opinion. Not everything he does, though. So, like Chris and I can say, you know, people don't give him enough credit where credit is due, and then sometimes he just needs to shut his mouth.
Right. Well,
you know,
yeah, if they took Twitter away from him, it would be okay. I mean, that's what's
you
sad.
shouldn't have to take Twitter away from someone, though. If you're the president, you should. If you're the president, you should be able to conduct yourself properly.
Yeah. No.
You should be in that class of, you know, you should have a class of people.
He may be a good businessman, but he's not.
You know what I? Ugh. You know what I love? This is because, and this is what I like about him, and it's pretty much the biggest thing, is he was able to fight back the Republican Party, like when he was trying to in the primary stuff, because they
hated
didn't
him.
Want him. They still hate him.
If
he loses, they're going to jump on. If he happens to lose this election, look out. They're coming back. You know, all the old guys, they're all coming back. So he'll be an outsider again. And that was what I liked about, not that that was what I kind of respected, was the fact that he took on the establishment. Now, of course, he's able to do that because he's well known. I mean, he's an adverb, I think, right?
Yeah.
You use the word Trump. You trumped this, you trumped that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's well known, and he's got money, so he was able to fight them back. He's able to fight back, the establishment people. So, I mean, that's my thing with him. My fear with the Democrat is, with Biden, is he's just really no different than Trump. The only difference is he will talk nice. Because really all the same things will happen. We won't have... That's my
right. He'll make it sound better, a little more.
We'll still do drone strikes. We'll still do all of that. We'll still have endless wars. We'll still do everything that people would like to see stop. There won't be any health care. There'll be nothing done in healthcare situation.
Paramilitary troops going in and snatching people.
You'll get that again because that was a President Obama thing. Yep. He did that in 2011, which allowed this president to do what he did. And the sad thing is he knew it. He knew it when he did it.
The writing was on the wall.
The president knew. President Obama knew what could possibility. Maybe in his mind he never thought it could happen. I don't know. But so I mean it's this was a good story. Kodak is going to hire 350 people. I only wish it was here.
Yeah.
It's too bad it's not in Niagara County.
Speaking of that. Grand Island. I mean, Amazon. They want to come. They want to build something new, give jobs. I mean,
why are they worried about traffic on Grand Island?
Yeah, we drove by literally the site is right off the thruway. They wouldn't be going into neighborhoods.
No,
there's no bridge traffic, so to speak, because there's no toll booth anymore. I mean, those are jobs. Those are people that cave people.
Citizens against virtually everything. We were saying,
and then they'll be complaining there's no jobs in the area.
Local businesses would benefit from that Amazon plant.
Sure.
There's so much.
Niagara Falls would benefit.
People are very narrow.
No, because the people here, a lot of people work in Grand Island that are here. Niagara Falls.
Or they travel over to go to Buffalo.
Yeah. Everybody travels over Grand Island. What is the difference?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I didn't even realize that was actually it's a real thing. Right?
Yeah.
They're really talking about doing it. Because where did it come from?
They pulled it off the. It's no longer. They're no longer looking into Grand Island apparently because of all the.
Okay. And so polling cars tried to get involved and said, "Hey, this is Erie County. We can't afford to lose these jobs." So, the proposal. I mean, they're basically pulling it off Grand Island because they knew that the planning board was going to ultimately turn it down. So then polling cars got involved for Erie County.
But the good thing is they're looking for a couple sites in Niagara County, so maybe we'll benefit.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be outstanding. I'm trying to think of where. It wouldn't matter. There's a lot of places in Niagara County.
Probably, I would say, like, eastern Niagara County.
Yeah, maybe towards Lockport.
Or towards Orleans County, out that way.
That'd be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yep.
Anything else in the message board as we're getting close to our...
Yep, we're getting close. Twitter is the only place he has a chance to get his message out without media editing his words to change the meaning from Tim Huther.
That's true.
We've seen that before.
We've totally.
That's true.
Tim, he's right on the money.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, I don't like Trump, but I can say that they twist his words. They don't.
They
give
twist
the guy
a lot of shit.
Chance. He's not my favorite person. I shouldn't say I don't.
But don't
it's not my thing.
make stuff up about them.
Yeah,
Truly,
they are.
really.
Well,
I mean,
But-
they're already nailing him for every word. And even as not being a fan of his, like, come on. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
they
other
don't give
news.
Luther a
Like
chance.
the news doesn't even cover news anymore. It's only Trump stories, Russian stories,
Well, and you
hacking
know what?
stories,
COVID,
like
COVID.
to keep that. Story
Suspense,
going, they want
yeah.
you to stay in that mind frame, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're finding out that the Russiagate wasn't real. We're finding out that it's starting to sound like it wasn't real. I mean, that it was it might have been a hoax
A
or
a political
ruse or
witch hunt,
something.
as he called it.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, no. So I
Yeah.
mean, he has said a lot of things. I mean, the problem is he rips the Band-Aid off real fast.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no middle ground for the president. You know what I mean? It's just like rips it off and that's it, and we're gonna go with whatever happens. And then we talked about too. Sometimes he likes to poke people in the eye. That's the only thing. Like spike the football type thing.
It's like he's looking for a reaction,
Looking
like
for a fight,
especially
yeah.
when he turns his Rose Garden conference into a political stump, and then
Oh, absolutely.
he
Every
just
COVID update was basically a press
political
rally.
Yeah.
Yes.
a political rally. Yeah,
I will say this though: what is very frustrating about Republicans in general too, is, and Democrats as well. It should be what's good for the goose is good for the gander, but if
Right.
nobody seems to call Trump out on some things. Like, how about the whole Roger Stone thing, where he just wiped away all of his sentence
Right.
and everything?
yeah,
That's
yeah. No,
there's some cover up going on.
again, it's that blatant abuse of power,
Yeah.
abuse of political connections, and just to keep the wool over our eyes, right in front of us.
We need to get another. I'm going to try to find a libertarian to come in because we had the Green Party. I got to find a libertarian to come in to talk to us about their third party candidacy. I know her name is Jo Jorgensen, so we'll have to look into her. She's running for president. And, Democrats and Republicans are probably, I'm going to say this is going to be like hyperbole, but I can't help it. They're almost like enemies of ours in a way because they're the same. They're just the same other than a corporate tax cut. There's
It's
nothing
their
much
agenda,
different.
right? It's their agenda.
Yeah, and it's not really,
And all of these people that seem to be okay with some of his antics, if Obama pulled some of the stuff that Trump did, all the Republicans would be hating on him. But because Trump does it, Republicans that couldn't even stand him when they were running against him suddenly have his back all the time.
Yeah.
It's so phony. It's fake.
they're gonna switch too. If he loses, look out.
Yep.
Because you got the Lincoln Project is already all those commercials. They're all Republicans.
It just sucks. Our only option is Biden.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
It's a terrible
He's
option.
not exciting.
And he's 40 years of just nonsense.
the
And
same. Both of our candidates are like in their 80s or late 70s.
Yeah,
Like,
their
we need
mental
some
there's their
life.
mental capability of continue handling the position. Are they there? Are they,
yeah,
can
no,
they do
It's
it?
sad.
It's
really.
tough. That's why you got to look at the third parties a little bit. I think, and I know that's the thing. I know they got to get 5%. They're not going to win, whatever. But somewhere down the line, it's got to end.
Closing time. Last
Okay.
call for phone calls. Anyone want to call in? You want to go ahead and give the number, John?
Oh, it's 716-804-1229. I do want to remind people, though, of something. This Sunday, and I can't wait, I was going to, the Leafs play Sunday at 8 o'clock, but this is great.
Go Sabres.
No, they're not even playing. All right, but anyways,
Go Sabres anyway.
I know. Potter, and you got me all shook up. Potter in the Falls. Potter in the Falls is a podcast for young people with a focus on Harry Potter. Debuts this
Nice.
Sunday at 4 p.m. on Yawawa Media, hosted by Dustin Hardy. And hold on one second, we have
Yeah.
a call.
Beautiful.
Caller, you're on Citizens United.
Hey, how you guys doing, John and Chris? This is Tim Heater.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, Tim.
Nice
Peter called last call. I thought I'd better get up here and order a Budweiser before they shut it down, but I need an order of French
Cheers.
fries and a chicken wing sandwich so I can have a beer.
Oh,
There you go. We'll give you some s'mores from
what's up,
Michaela's.
You know, I just made the comment in the comment section on Facebook, and I want to talk. You've got career politicians, Pelosi, Schumer, even Mitch McConnell, all these guys that have been in Congress and Senate for many years. And they're putting all the blame on why the country's not moving forward on a man that's been in charge for 3+ years, and that it's all his fault. But yeah, if you go back and look at their comments from the past, they have blamed every president through the years that they've been serving that it's the president's fault. They've obstructed President Trump on at least a minimum of 90% of everything. I mean, he couldn't even get his own cabinet confirmed because they were obstructing him right from the beginning. Then you've got when they've tried to have him impeached and they've accused him of the Russian scandal and everything else. You know, for the last 3+ years, this man has not only had to fend off the bullshit that they're trying to pull on him, but he's also advanced the economy forward. He had people working. We had everything was going in the right direction. We were becoming self-sufficient again. And then they drop a virus on. You know, this virus drops out.
Well,
how can you sit here and blame everything on one man when you've had he can't single-handedly pass a law? He can't single-handedly really do anything other than put suggestions forward and attempt to get the House and the Senate to go along and to agree and to vote to let things that he suggests happens. But yet, how can everybody in this country blame one man when he can't even do this stuff on his own by himself? I'm a big
Very good point.
But I will admit, we can't argue that he does say some stupid things at times.
Well, Tim, you know what I was? That's why I brought up the story today about Rochester. I mean, and Kodak. I was telling these guys here that, you know, it's just
Paul and Chris.
What's wrong with you, dude?
I don't know. I'm a little
Are
tired.
you Biden?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Getting something.
Yeah.
I say bye, Don. B-Y-E,
I'm just saying,
Don. Bye, Don.
You only have that chance with Trump. You're never going to get that with a Republican or a Democrat. Not a chance.
Unless there's kickbacks being offered somewhere.
Now, did you ever notice, Tim, also, they love to be in the minority? Both parties never want to be in the majority, ever.
No, because then they can be the victim and they can blame the other party. Well, it's not our fault. We tried, but we were outnumbered.
Yeah, they love.
Even though we have the majority, we were outnumbered.
They love it. They love the minority, man. They love to be in the minority.
And I'll say again as well, around in this city, especially locally, party politics plays too much of a role in our government at the local level. There's no reason whatsoever to have this much party politics involved. You should not. These people are beholden to too many people, and you know you can't have that.
Right.
And the only people that benefit.
Blame the unions. Well, you know what? Why do you let the unions influence so much?
Right.
This is a problem when you've got people that are getting cross-endorsed by multiple parties. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how do other cities do it?
And then they owe favors.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Somebody doesn't give this money just because, you know, I got extra money sitting around.
Yeah,
no, they expect something.
No, they're bought. Yeah. They're bought, and they're gonna work for their people, and it isn't you or me. It's it's the boss, whoever's paying them. So no, Tim, we speak the same language on that for sure.
Very good points.
Absolutely.
All right, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Hey, no problem, guys. Have a great day. Great show.
You too. We appreciate
it.
You too. Thanks. Well, John, I know you like to give some numbers out at the end, and I always do support those, of course. Your mental health number you'll be giving out and some other numbers. So, again, thank you for everyone for tuning in on social media as well as wherever you may be within the state, out of state. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you again, Paula, for coming on and enlightening us.
Thank you for having me. And, again, everyone, check out Michaela's Sweet Treats. She has these best s'more cookies. They're s'moregasmic.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. You made the show good tonight. Thank you.
It's always good. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, anyways, let's go to my numbers. You know, if you've ever been abused, especially, you know, like sexual abuse and all and that, man or woman, call 716-278-9662. That's the YWCA. They're incredible over there. They do all kinds of counseling, and they'll help you every step of the way to make you, feel better or just to get better, because it's a tough thing. And they're there 24 hours a day. Also, there is RAINN, RAINN, 1-800-656-4673. That's another one for people that might have been sexually abused, adults, children, however that is. Please give them a call. They're there 24 hours a day also. It's also, you know, anonymous, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's people standing by waiting. Also, please, another number, 1-800-662-HELP-4357. That is for depression, suicide, all of those things, all the mental health things that we're dealing with these days and have always dealt with, and now we're starting to speak about. So please remember those numbers. Call. Don't feel ashamed.
You're
They're
never
there
alone.
for you.
Yep,
They're there
remember.
for you.
Yep.
Also, I want to thank the guys, of course, Cole, Julie, and Dustin. Please don't forget Potter in the Falls. That is Sunday at 4 p.m. It's going to be great here, hosted by Dustin Hardy. And it's all about Harry Potter for young people. It's going to be great. And for you older people, because it's fun.
Yeah,
We're gonna tune in to support the
And-
guys and to learn a little bit about Potter. So
There's going to be a special show at 7 o'clock where the Women Strong usually are, but they're not going to be on because they have a party. I think Noelle's one of her children are at birthday party. So there's going to be a special show, and it's going to be pretty good. I think we're going to
Yeah.
have Peter and Dante Miles and stuff. It's going to be a good show.
Beautiful.
Check that out.
Nice.
And, of course, tomorrow, Tessa, Del Zappo, the medium. So that's it, guys.
all right,
We'll
well,
be back Wednesday.
thank you, everyone. Peace.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.